it's just literally just the Three Stooges and a guy by the name of Just Joe. Hey everybody, my name is Old School Nerd. Check us out on OldSkuleNerd.com. It's got all of our social media posts. The Patreon link for those who want to support the channel. We appreciate every single one of you. Without you, we can't make it here. Of course, there's a Discord link in the description for those who want to come over, post a bunch of stuff in Discord because it gets kind of crazy over there because kind of hang it loose. What can we say? Speaking of guys that kind of hang it loose, all right, I know that there are 3 amazing front women in this tour. But I would go so far to say that there wouldn't be a tour without the 4 amazing guys that back them up. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, the first one I'm going to mention up at the top is a guy by the name of his name is, they call him Just Joe. Now, not Joe the drummer, which is the guy with the black hoodie on the left. No. This guy's name is Just Joe. Okay, he was in a band before. And now he's a solo artist. Check this out. He's from Syracuse, New York. All right. He's a Twitch streamer. He's a songwriter. He can pretty much play anything and sing anything. Doesn't matter the song. Doesn't matter the genre. This guy can kill it. Want to know how I know? Watched him do it. Literally. When we first showed up at the venue, the White Eagle Saloon in Portland, Oregon, there was a piano out front. I'm thinking, who's playing the piano? Well, I found out really quick. So this guy, Just Joe, looks like Vin Diesel's meaner uncle, but he's not. Sweetest guy you've ever met. Walk up to him, hey, you're Just Joe, right? He's like, hey, how you doing? He was working on a set list. His computer had crapped out on him. He was trying to get everything loaded to an iPad. Could have a set lined up and stuff. I thought, okay, let's see what he does. There are times when everyone wants to hang out with the main band, because the thing about it is Halocene and Lauren Babick and Violet were all still on the patio. So technically people could have been out on the patio and while this guy opened up this show, because the headlining artists are out on the patio right there. But no. This guy captured everyone in that saloon. He had the bartenders messing up drinks, right? He had everybody just transfixed. When this guy would sing songs, he would play some of these ballads, and the power of his voice and the passion in his music just made everyone just get blown away. So I'll put his Instagram link there. I will put his Twitch link there. I will also put his website up there. When you go to his website, you're going to be like, holy crap. There's not a lot this guy can't do. So that's the first guy we need to talk about. Second guy we're going to talk about is the one standing in between Brad and Joe. Okay? His name is Sam. Okay? And Sam is a joy to be around. He's the most relaxed, unassuming, just level guy you've ever met. I walked to the merch table. We started talking, and he started talking to me about his music, his photography, his Instagram, his branding. It needed some help and blah, 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 blah. And then we started talking about YouTube channels. And then I realized him and I are just talking like 2 guys. We're not talking about a guy trying to buy merch and a guy selling merch. He's just a great guy. I'm going to put the link to his Instagram, okay, on this video. If you want to see some of the best tour pictures I've ever seen, action shots where you see Addie's hair just completely rooster crowing, whipping over the top of her head, or Violet, or Lauren, just, all of it. He can get, he is perfectly amazing at doing the perfect shot. And then, of course, let's talk about the other two guys. I want to talk about Joe first, and then we'll talk about Brad last. Joe is the quiet, brooding type. He's very low key. Okay, he's not the loud one. Okay, if every good duo has to have the outward extrovert, loud, brash, hilarious, could pull up one-liners and always has the crowd giggling and guffawing, and you never know what's going to come out of him. That's Brad. Joe's the polar opposite. Joe's very, he's a man of few words. But when he does speak, it's fucking hilarious. He's got great comedic timing. He's got a good brain in his head. He really, really can come up with some great foils for all the goofy stuff Brad does. Things you didn't know about Brad. I didn't know that Brad was a dad. Not only is he a dad, but he has a very, very young baby at home that he left to come out on this tour, and he misses his child immensely every day. Hard for him. My heart went out to him as a dad. Joe loves history, come to find out. Loves it. He hated school. I also found out that Brad, Addie, and Joe all said that that when someone asked them what their favorite subject in the question and answer for the meet and greet, someone goes, "What was your favorite subject in high school, and what was your least favorite subject?" And they're all like, "I hated school." But now Joe is really into history, like big time. And we're just sitting there. We're sitting on a picnic table, and we're just talking. Because remember I told you in the first video, he was kind of off on his own trying to find food. So he wasn't around at the beginning of the event. So when he showed up, Addie told him, "Hey, go outside and sign the plate and the other stuff for Old School Nerd." He's like, "Yeah, I'll go." And as he's signing it, him and I start talking. And I said, "Hey, listen, I just want to tell you, I really loved your drum work on the mirror. Love what you did there." And that just opened the floodgates. Because then I was showing interest in something that he really enjoyed. We started talking about drumming, started talking about his method, how much he loves and how hard he practices. He practices a lot. And then we started talking about history. And when I told him that I just love history, he just opened up in a way I didn't expect. This guy loves history. So as everyone would expect, being Old School Nerd, I immediately turned him on to Sabaton. And I told him, "Hey, if you're going to be on the road for hours at a time, here, check out Sabaton." So if he checked out Sabaton, he's probably right in the middle of a rabbit hole. Yeah, I even gave him the history site too. So, all right. Oh, by the way, I think what you're seeing in this picture, above his sunglasses and from his nose down to his chin, I think that is the largest part of Joe's body that isn't tattooed, including his skull cap. His skull cap tattoo is intricately beautiful. I've seen some pretty ridiculous skull caps. This guy really took the time, found an amazing artist, and has one of the most beautiful mosaics of wildlife and just iconic imagery I've ever seen in a tattoo, and he's got it on his skull cap. It starts at his brow, goes all the way to the top of his neck. And it's just gorgeous to see it. All right, Brad. Brad is a lot like me. In that he always has a joke. He's always got a comeback. Extremely creative. And he's running the whole show. During the show, you see him playing the guitar. But you don't realize he's also working all the pedals, the effects. He's playing all the tracks. He's keeping track of all the list outs, the effects. He's doing everything from a production station. He's got the sound cabinet behind him, his laptop and his workstation and all of his pedal cues in front of him, and he's just working through it. He never stops. And because he's a dork like me, being the nerd that he is, he has sound effects. Yes. Or whatever. He's got a dozen plus sound effects plugged into a board. He pushes a button And so when Addie says something silly or somebody says something funny, he can do a quick sound effect. He's that good. Now I could tell you the Brad story. Sorry, Brad. It's true. So I just finished talking to Addie, telling her how impressed I was with everything they've done, how impressed, how amazing it is that she's a mom and she's a musician and all the work they've done and everything else. And she was very touched by that. And I'd already talked to Lauren. I'd already talked to Violet. I'd already talked to Joe. And just Joe. Hell, I'd already talked to Sam. I hadn't talked to Brad yet. So I was on, I think, my third or fourth Dr. Pepper. And just like Forrest Gump, I had to pay. So I head to the back of the saloon and I go into the bathroom. When I go into the bathroom, Brad is turning around from the urinal. He just finished peeing and he's washing his hands and he's like, "Hey, bro, love your site, da-da-da-da-da." And because Brad is one of those, once he gets started, he can't stop. I don't know anybody like that. Him and I began this 10-minute long conversation about everything they're doing, about my reactions, how he appreciates how I pay attention and check out some of the things they're doing, and how I really that I flew over 1,000 miles to see them live. And then we started talking about the tour and about Paxton, which is their son, who's back home, and started talking about the bus and the van and everything they were doing on this, and how the entire Halocene community came together to help sponsor this tour to make it to where they could do what they're doing. And we talked about amazing dreams for future tours and how, because of what's going on right now, him and Addie are really believing that all things are possible. All things are possible because of their community. This is a guy who just finished taking a piss, washed his hands, and told me, when someone finishes taking a piss and washes their hands, there's no place to lie. There's not. So he's literally telling me how overwhelmed they were by the community on Twitch and on YouTube, and how all things could very well be possible in the future. European tour, that's a reality. That wasn't even a thought 6 months ago. He has a dream, and I'm not going to tell you what his dream is. Him and Addie have a goal. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'll let him tell you if he wants to. But when he told me, I was like, yes, that would be the ultimate. And it's not something there's going to be people in this video that are going to be like, oh, they want to play, this festival, or they want to tour, they want to headline this tour, they want to do this. No, it's nothing like that. Remember, Brad and Addie's shirts both say, Epic Mom, Epic Dad first, and then everything else came after. Something like that. Anyway, we were in the bathroom talking so long, completely forgetting that the meet and greet was almost over and the show was about to start, that people started missing us. So there's a knock on the door, and of course, being me, I yell, "I'm in here!" And I immediately hear Chelsea go, "What are you doing?" So my girlfriend caught Brad and I alone in a bathroom, and we had been alone in a bathroom for 10 minutes. Now, we could have both gone out of that door and said, sorry, started talking about kids, started talking about, the road, the YouTube channels, social media, and we got lost track of time. We could have said that. Brad could have said that. I could have said that, and she would have been like, okay. But because of the people that Brad is and I am, because of the people we are, we could not help ourselves. Brad goes, "We aren't doing anything. No, we were just talking." and he walked right by her. Yeah, that's how good Brad is. So I'm going to put the links for Just Joe and Sam down in the description of this video, along with halocenes and Violet's and Lauren's stuff in the description of this video. So please check out Just Joe. Check out Sam's photography Instagram. It is amazing work. And with that, we have another video I want to play. But before I play the video, I want to tell you something that was told to me during this concert that I didn't know. And if I had known, I would have been a huge fan of this band years ago. All right, let's check it out. Let me, I'm going to move these Los Trios Grandes Idiotes. I don't even think I said that right. I'm pretty sure I didn't say that right. But I'm going to put these guys right here. Okay. So we're about to play a video. And everybody knows that Halocene is known. Lauren's known. And definitely Violet Orlandi's known for making covers of existing songs and posting them on YouTube and on Twitch. But some people don't realize that before 2018, 2019, 20, 21, 22, these last 5 years, Addie, Joe, and Brad, Halocene themselves, even had other members, but they had been a band for 13 years. They'd been a band for a long time. And before this song played, Addie got up there and told the story of Halocene. Told the story of how that song came to be. And she talked about the she talked about the struggle that they went through at the beginning of their career. They talked about how they did make the joke of how they did a song and someone stole their song, and then there was this whole fight, and they did an arrangement for a song that was, ripped off by a nameless song contest show somewhere. But if you're a Halocene fan, you know the name of the show, and I'm not going to say it here because I'm not trying to get sued. And then she just talks about how the last time they had went on tour, how desperate things were for them. Not only as a couple, but Joe as well, and the band as well. And now that's why they're 3 members, because they've been through their ups and downs. And when they're at their most desperate, when they're at their lowest point, they said, you know what? Let's give this YouTube Twitch thing a try. And off to the races they went. And they had huge success with different songs that they made covers of. But after the whole cover song arrangement was taken and used by a TV show, and they had numerous other issues occur, it just kind of built something inside of them to write a song. And the name of the song is This Is Our War. It's an original, yes. And if I had known the story behind this song, if I had known this song existed, I would have done a reaction to this song months ago, maybe a year ago. I didn't know. Remember, I was already a fan of Lauren Babic before I started YouTube, because I was a fan of hers when she was in Crazy 88. She's still in Crazy 88. Lauren's got like 15 bands, by the way. I mean, technically, Lauren Babic is a label. She just has a bunch of bands in her label. They're just not all legally binding. Lauren Babic presents. Anyway, and then Violet had struggles with her label. That's a story that she shared. That was insane. So when you see these independent bands out there, give them some serious love. Because they're struggling with stuff, but luckily they're still making it happen, and I'm happy for them. So we're going to listen to this song together. I really love this song. The crowd knew it. Halocene fans know it. Um, it, I discovered Lauren Babic before YouTube. I discovered Violet because of a duet she did with Leo Maracchioli in one of Leo's videos, which I was already a fan of, which turned me on to her channel. And both Lauren and her, in their collaborations with Halocene, turned me on to Halocene. But this song that we're about to play came out before all of that, so I didn't know it. I didn't notice that it was there. I notice now. And if you go to any Halocene show, Addie will probably tell you the story. And Addie will probably cry. And at the beginning of this song, you could see the image here. She's dabbing tears, facing away from the crowd. Brad is emotional as well. And they share a look. And they share a smile. This was their first sold-out show of the tour. And it was that look that I've seen before. When someone you love has been through a struggle with you, and you've come out the other side, and you realize everything's going to be okay, that's the look. When you see it, you'll know it. This song is called This Is Our War. This is Halocene, joined by Lauren Babic and Violet Orlandi. Yeah, I'm tearing up. I'm a dad. You tear up when parents have touching stories and it comes around. It's awesome. I might have messed that up. It's a live video, guys. And sometimes when I do live videos, the cropping isn't correct. See, and you know what? Brad and Addie, Joe, they're gonna know what I'm talking about when I say this, because it really is hard when you're doing things live. It's like when they do things live on Twitch, sometimes it just goes weird. And they just go, fuck it, and they make a joke and they laugh and they move on. We're gonna start this again. You're going to see this guy here, Brad, and his wife's going to look at him and he's going to look at her and he's going to smile and he's going to put his head up. And it's that moment. It's that moment. It's really going to be okay. It's really going to be good. They're back. Here we go. Yes, Sam is taking pictures right now because it's an amazing moment.
Gave me a reason to fight once again. We stand together, we'll stand till the end. Through all the pain, I know this is worth dying for. to fight once again. We're on the front line, still marching ahead. You gave me a reason to survive and win. You gave us some reason to fight. Thank you.
What's up? Well, there's not a lot of space for us to go, and I'm not gonna lie. The other cities we got off stage pretended like that was the end of the set. We're behind a wall. And we're like, come on, hopefully we cross our fingers that people will be like, one more song!
And they did. They played one more song. And they played one hell of a song. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm trying not to cry a little bit because it was important. It was an important moment. Here's the best part. They had already had, I think, 3 shows before Portland, or Portland was the 3rd show. Portland was the first sellout. Since then, they've had a few more. And I think as this tour progresses and then the middle central US dates start to pile up, East Coast, Europe, I think sellout's going to be more and more common. But I was fortunate enough to be at the first. And something occurred to me. They were playing the last song. I won't tell you what it is, by the way. I'm not going to tell you what the last song was. Why? Well, mainly because you know what? It's not fair. I don't want to spoil stuff, but I will tell you the last song is a System of a Down song. Fine. At the end of the song, they're all like, you know, Joe's coming out from around the drums. Brad's putting his guitar down. The 4 of them are gonna, the 5 of them are gonna line up, and they're gonna bow to the crowd and da 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 da. And something occurred to me at that moment. And I did something really stupid. I know, I do that a lot. But this time I thought it was important. Lauren was close enough to hear me, so I told her, I said, Lauren, don't get off the stage. I'm going to get up here. We got to get a picture of all of you guys with the crowd behind you for your first sold out show. And she's like, oh my God, you're right. And she, knowing Lauren, she's like, hold on, everybody, don't go anywhere. And she got everybody together. I was like, I told them, I told Brad, Addie looked at me like, what? And Brad's like, what's going on? And I was like, it's your first sold out show. You got to get a picture like all the other, you know, all the bands do where they have somebody take a picture of the crowd behind them at the end of the show. It's your first sold out show. You got to do this. And we did. And it kind of looked like this. Yeah. I'll even, you know, it's a live video, so I'll just do this part. Yeah. Pretty good night. As you can see, it's a saloon. And yes, you can see a ton of people there. Look, Joe's actually smile. Well, it's not a smile. It's more of a slight grin. So he's very happy. You can see all those amazing people. They were there. They were excited, and they all threw up the love, and they screamed, and they sang, and they yelled, and they had an amazing time. And the work's paying off. You know, it's before the tour started, Halocene was like, you know, we're finally getting to the point where the YouTube work and the Twitch work and the community we've built is starting to work out to where we're creating music and we're creating content and we're creating our art and we're starting to build up this fan base. And it had to be so scary to say, you know what, let's go on tour. And then to say, hey, Violet, we want you to fly all the way from Brazil and join us, you know, because you can. And then they stepped out and said, Lauren, we need you to get a work visa for the US. You got to come down from Canada. We're going to do this triple bill. And that had to take a lot of faith and a lot of belief amongst all of them. Lauren's got projects. She's got Right-Handed Denial's new album coming out in June. Violet actually stopped making videos for her channel so she could be on this tour. So they all take risks. And it's awesome to see it paying off for them. My name is Old School Nerd. And this was part 2 of my thoughts and the amazing experience I had at the Halocene show. And before someone calls me a liar, and they were like, you didn't take that picture. Well, I mean, are you sure?